is Cameron Kinslow, and I'm from Pomona, California. When I was really little, I used to play with my sister's toys, and we'd have the best time together. And it was just this innocent thing where it was like there was Barbie dolls and doll houses, and I think the first time I realized that that wasn't okay for me was when my mom was like, make sure you put the toys away before your dad comes home. And that was where I felt like I was getting attention for negative reasons for the things that I was doing and for who I was. And I soon learned soon after that I was getting attention sometimes when I was playing basketball, and that was where people were like very excited for me. And I think that was the type of attention I was like, oh, this feels positive, this feels great. And that's when I became more interested in girls, and that was where I became like, oh, I need to get a girlfriend to complete this picture. And I was going to college, and this relationship went on for 4 years. And I think that was the part of my life where I felt like I was doing a disservice to myself because I wasn't living my true self, which was that I was someone who was queer and enjoyed being with guys and girls. And I think that was a piece of my life that was just brand new to me. And I didn't have the language to talk about it. I didn't know where I'd get support from for that. And I remember I was at a party on New Year's Eve, and I was hanging out with friends, and I just felt this odd sense of just not feeling comfortable and not feeling supported by them, even though they knew nothing about this part of my life. And I really wanted to go home. So my friends decided to drive me home, got home, and once I got home, I realized I also didn't want to be there because I also didn't feel supported, and I didn't share this piece of my life with my family either. And I think at that moment, I just looked up the street and decided to take a run for it, and I ran up the street as fast as I could, and I saw this on-ramp to the freeway, and I just took it. I probably made it a half a mile running full speed, and then I heard sirens go by, and I saw flashing lights, and I think that was just what shook me. And as that happened, they went by me and they didn't stop. And then another car pulls up alongside me and the door opens, and I just hop in. I remember not knowing who the person was who was driving the car when I first got in, and then looking over to the side and realizing that it was one of my friends from since forever, who's always been the happiest person to see me, like the person that was always like, Cameron, you're here. And like that type of person was the exact person I needed to help me calm down and just be focused and feel like I wasn't alone. After that, I realized that that situation I was in, I didn't want to be in ever again. And it was just a scary, uncomfortable place to be. And I pushed myself to think about, well, how do I do that? And I think it just came to be that I had to live my full truth and be honest with myself. And that was the moment where I felt like I needed to explore this part of my life more. And the week after, I remember calling up a friend, and we went to go hang out. And afterwards, I was like, I want to do something. I want to go on a date with the guy, and I want will you drive me to the movies to go meet with this guy? And she was like, of course I'll go with you. And I think when we got to the movie theater, I felt more comfortable and like I could do this on my own, and I felt like it was going to be the start of something, of me living my entire truth, and I felt prepared for that. And I think that type of thing only happens when you put yourself out there, and there's that scary moment where you're like, is this person going to accept what I'm going to do or not? And I think that's the piece that's scary, but the overall goal and the thing that you win is you have this entire life that feels complete and full. And I think that's something that's well worth that moment of anxiety.